of this, the Prince of Wales Conference Championship between the New York Islanders and the Boston Bruins in Garden. These fans excited about the possibilities for the Bruins. The referee for the opening game of the series is Bob Myers, and working the lines tonight, John D'Amico and Bob Hodges. Let's check out the goaltending. Billy Smith, no surprise, starts for the Islanders, comes into the game tonight with a playoff record this year of 5 wins and 1 loss, a 2.51 goals against average. And at the other end of the ice, Pete Peters has played 11 games, all the games for the Bruins, 7-4, 1 shutout and a 2.80 goals against average. Has given up 31 goals on 303 shots. Billy Smith has given up 16 goals on 181 shots. And Trache starts with Tonelli and Nystrom as the Islander forwards. Persson and Potvin on defense. Persson got the puck out to center. Tonelli unable to pick it up, and here's Krushelinski. Krushelinski comes over the line. Drop pass to Bork. His shot steered aside by Billy Smith. Trache tries the right wing with a pass to Nystrom. Bork moves over on him. Nystrom dumped it into the Boston zone and was sent flying on a hard hit. And here's Park up to Middleton. Middleton goes to the left side, but Peterson is offside at the Islander blue line. Krushelinski had stepped in ahead of him.
Much like we used to see from the Philadelphia Flyers, Jiggs. The Bruins, a team that opened fast. Montreal for many years were known for that particular part, opening quickly. Krushelinski decks Bob Nystrom. Actually, the players like that, particularly Islander players that like to hit, because that kind of gets things going. They've set the tone in the hitting department.
Now Potvin back on the Islanders defense, unable to clear it out of his own zone. The 2 Sutters and Bob Bourne are the forward line for the Islanders. The puck went to the corner to Middleton, goes back to the net, comes out in front, played it off Smith's pad. Billy was down, but able to cover it up on the far side. The Bruins getting the first good opportunity in this opening period.
Crucial mistakes early in the game can be costly. Rick Middleton leads the playoffs in scoring. Here he fakes Billy Smith to the ice, wraps around behind the net. Tried to bank it in off Bill Smith. There was nothing there to bank it off, and Billy Smith ends up with the puck.
I don't have to remind Islander fans that this is the second time the 2 teams have met in the playoffs. In 1980, the Islanders defeated the Bruins in 5 games on their way to their first Stanley Cup.
3 of those games were overtime.
And the Islanders won 3 of them here at the Boston Garden. Thomas Johnson knocked the puck away from Middleton. The Bruins able to get it back and over the line, but now the Islanders have moved it up left wing for Bourne. He's pinched on the boards by Brad Park. Harry Peterson checked. Thomas Johnson got the puck to Brent Sutter, and he's dumped it around behind the net. There will be one of the keys right there, how Peters plays the puck for the Bruins. He is one of those excellent goaltenders and getting it out of his own end of the ice, and now the Islanders are offside as they made contact with the puck at the Boston line. And Jerry Cheevers makes a complete change for the Bruins. I noticed in Game 7, watching it from this Boston Garden, that Cheevers at least went with, for the most part, 4 defensemen, and in the last period in particular, no more than about 5 forwards.
He's almost going to have to resort to that, Jiggs. He doesn't have, as we talked about earlier, he does not have the depth that the Islanders have in 4 lines that can do a job for him.
Now Caller is out with Trache and Bossy. The puck came off the boards, and Peters covered up quickly to the left side of that Boston goal.
The other thing about this kind of a hockey game, or any playoff series, the opening game, the players like to get into the game early, Jiggs, and they like to get out onto the ice. Both coaches, I'm sure you'll see, get everybody into the game, get their first shift of the hockey game in early.
Those are injured hockey players, all of them Boston Bruins, and I guess the key factor there would be the absence of Mike Milbury. One of the veteran defensemen of this Boston team is out for the balance of the year with a broken kneecap. Morrow's shot is deflected in the Bruins zone. Crowder chasing it up the right wing, but Johnson gave it to Bossy. Now O'Connell has dumped it into the Islanders zone, and Morrow comes back. We're 1 minute and 35 seconds into the opening period. Anders Kaller dumps the puck into center ice. Mike O'Connell played it off the boards. Kaller bumped by Bruce Crowder. Crowder dropped it to O'Connell. Up the far side, Sluzak checked in his own zone. The big rookie turned, played it off the boards into the Islanders zone, and right to Billy Smith. And it off to Thomas Johnson. Johnson, a long pass out of the reach of Trache. Now Bork forces the Islanders to go back. Kenny Morrow lost sight of it, and now the Bruins have touched up, and we get a whistle. There's a break in the action. 17:55 left in the opening.
Executive of the New Jersey Devils.
Peter didn't see a whole lot of ice time in the series with the Buffalo Sabres, or whether he was in Jerry Cheever's doghouse or what the reason was. Now Bork has dumped the puck around the boards. Billy Smith let it go back of the net. Potvin chases it, takes a hard hit from McTavish. Tonelli comes out of the corner. Keith Crowder chases him. Tonelli, and the puck knocked away. McTavish with a shot. That went wide of the net. Bounces off the boards and out to center ice for Brad Park. Goring right on top of him. Park over to Bork up the left side. McTavish's relay was blocked by Lane, and now McTavish and Lane push at one another. The linesmen, Hodges and D'Amico, get between them quickly, and no damage done.
Good to see the intentions of Gord Lane, Jiggs, on playing the game. He easily could have gone right back after him, much like Billy Smith has done throughout the playoffs. Held his cool, kind of, in a sense, stuck his chin out and said, go ahead. Take a penalty. I'll take it. Smart play on Lane's part.
Now Goring will take this face-off against McNabb. Tonelli is on the left, Nystrom on the right for the Islanders. Keith Crowder on the right side with McNabb at center ice and McTavish on the left wing for the Bruins. That's McTavish with the puck. Bork's pass and handed it right back to him. Ray Bork, a talented defenseman, had it stolen by Goring. Comes in over the line with a drive, and it's grabbed by Peters.
The opportunist ever ready to accept anything that's handed to him from his own teammates or the opposition. The Boston Bruins, an errant pass. Look at Goring step in anticipation. Picks up the puck and lets fly with the best shot for the Islanders so far in this young hockey game. There's the drive by Goring. Handled fairly easily by Peters. He's well out of the net, had a good angle on it, had a good look at it, and easily picked it off with his catching mitt.
Now we get an opportunity to check out an area that the Bruins were vulnerable in, I thought, in the playoffs against Buffalo, losing face-offs in their own end, and Peterson just lost it there. The Islanders shot it wide, and it comes back out to center ice. Bob Bourne to Thomas Johnson. Johnson cuts to the right, across the line, works on Kluzak. The pass to Brent Sutter, and it was blocked by O'Connell. Now Dwayne Sutter to Brent. Brent trying to come off the boards. Middleton there to help out, picked up the puck, and has cleared it ahead for Peterson. Peterson cuts to the left at center ice. Lets it wide in the Islander net. Johnson hustles after it. Thomas Johnson teamed up on defense along with Morrow. The pass to the right wing went off Dwayne Sutter, and Kluzak managed to get it back to Peterson of the Bruins. He's checked by Morrow. Brent Sutter at center ice. Flips it into the Boston zone. Peters way out of the net to play it. Got it off the boards. O'Connell lost it. Bourne turns. There's Brent Sutter with a shot. He scores! Brent Sutter puts the Islanders on top. Peters out of the net gambling as he did all season long, and he pays the price here.
The scouting report is that he'll do that. He'll gamble. Boston had the puck and lost it, and Bourne leaves it. Brent Sutter lets fly with a drive. Peters does not get a good look at it, and it gets in behind him through the legs. And the Islanders take a big 1-0 lead. Brent Sutter getting the goal between the legs of Peters. Dwayne Sutter standing nearby looking for a rebound, but none was there. Of course, the puck in the net.
Now the Bruins dumping around the boards in the Islanders zone. Billy Smith cleared into the corner. Shot right to the goal mouth. A hard drive off the left side by Tom Fergus. Ricochets all the way down into the Boston zone. There is Bork. Ray Bork checks out his options. He elects to go to the left side. The referee, Bob Myers, is calling penalties. Brad Park and Brian Trottier. Little stick work going on in the Boston zone, and they're headed for the penalty boxes.
A couple of unlikely candidates for penalties. Brian Trottier whistled to the penalty box along with Brad Park. A break in the action here at the Boston Garden to score.
Trottier and Park have drawn slashing penalties at 4:02 of this first period. Bourne and Bossy are the Islander forwards with Potvin and Persson on the points. That's Ray Bork playing it to the left side. Fergus across to Crowder. Bruce Crowder forced the turn, lost it to Potvin, to Bourne. Comes in on the right wing on the backhand, shoved it through in front. It got away from Peters, but there is Crowder. Bruce Crowder plays it back to the net for Bork. Bossy started to chase him. Now Bork carries it up the middle. The Islanders were in the middle of the change. Crowder across the line. Potvin got a piece of him, and Persson takes control of the puck. Bruce Crowder and Persson in the corner. Crowder leading into Persson. It's in his skates. Bruce Crowder dug it loose. Centered. O'Connell shot. Smith got a piece of it. Bruce Crowder and Persson go to the far boards. It comes to Bossy, and he breaks out on the right wing. A pass now to Goring. Goring works on O'Connell as he steps across the line. Gave the puck to John Tonelli. Nelly in heavy traffic is chased to the boards. Here's Thomas Johnson with it. Comes over the Boston line, put on the brakes, neat pass to Tonelli. It was in and out of his skates, however, and Keith Crowder comes up the right wing. Across to Fergus, pokes it in over the line. Johnson hustles after it. Rolled it away from Tom Fergus. Thomas Johnson out with Tonelli and Goring as they come to center. Goring is across the line, back to Tonelli. Got it wide. Morrow off the right point. Eddie Morrow's shot. That went wide of Peters. Comes back to Johnson. Lets it go from the blue line. It went bouncing off Keith Crowder. Loose in the far corner. Goring gets it back to Morrow. Morrow moves in and turns. Comes all the way back to the blue line. That's a backhander goal that was blocked by Fergus. Handed it right back to Morrow. Islanders controlled it at center ice. Thomas Johnson's long shot went off Keith Crowder. He picked up back of the net by O'Connell. 8 seconds remaining in the penalties to Park and Trottier. Wayne Sutter stepped into McNabb. He got the pass up the right side to Keith Crowder. His shot sails up into the crowd.
Oh, that kind of tempo, kind of speed we're seeing here early in the hockey game.
Two Sutter brothers and Bob Bourne up front for the Islanders. Brent has dumped it wide of the Boston goal. Here's Bourne breaking in. Shoots. Peters got in front of it. Bob Bourne and Marty Howe tie up one another. Wayne Sutter put it out in front, but Park was there. Park to Middleton. Comes out on the right side. Rick Middleton to Krushelinski, who couldn't handle the pass, and Brent Sutter played it into the Islander bench. Play has been
early, but he still got to the puck as he went quickly to his left and
went behind him. Pearson and Potvin on defense. Pearson, good pass to Dwayne Sutter to Bourne on left wing. Brent Sutter heads for the net. Bourne a drive. Peters to save, and he covers up on the rebound as Brent Sutter timed it perfectly and cut right through. And now Peters out to exchange some words with Dwayne Sutter of the Islanders.
The reason, watch Dwayne Sutter when he stops in front of Peters. Here's the shot by Bourne. Watch how close he comes in and stops. The spray of snow right there. Boom. Up into the face of the goaltender is what Peters was complaining about. He made the stop, controlled the rebound. Right here, there's a stop by Dwayne Sutter. You see him look up and see him coming. And as Dwayne Sutter stopped quickly in front of him, he sent a spray of snow into the mask and face of Peters.
Al Arbor has sent Wayne Merrick to center ice. Bob Nystrom is on right wing, and Greg Gilbert on the left side. 6 minutes and 50 seconds into the first period. Lane has come out on the Islander defense, along with Lane on the injury list for the Islanders. Gillies on a day-to-day basis.
The fan hype here in the Boston Garden means a lot to the local team.
Now O'Connell played it to the left side. Bruins failed to move it out of there, however. Nystrom trying to set up Merrick at the side of the net. That was broken up. Nystrom got it right back again. Bobby Nystrom checked by Bork. Bork off the boards. Controlled by Merrick. Kicked it to the corner to Nystrom. Chased again by Bork. The puck comes loose for Merrick. Merrick and Barr slam into one another. Merrick goes down. The puck is underneath Barr. Now as Gilbert and Bork come in, the whistle sounds, and we'll get another face-off deep in the Boston zone.
A lot of force.
Trottier, Bossy, and Caller. The draw went in and out of the skates of Caller. He left it for Pearson to Caller, who is broken up and cleared out to center ice by Dufour. Here is Potvin to Bossy. Bossy takes the turn, then dropped it back to Stephen Pearson. Chased in by Fergus. Good pass to Trottier to Caller. Caller cuts across the Boston line with Potvin trailing. Potvin ran into O'Connell and overcame Bork to pick up the puck. Had trouble handling it, and the Bruins have shot it wide of Billy Smith. Icing was waved off. Pearson out of the right wing corner. He thought the whistle was going to sound. He is checked. There's a penalty coming up in the play against the Boston Bruins. Pearson waits. Billy Smith has gone to the Islander bench for an extra forward, but it doesn't amount to anything as Kluzak picked up the puck at center ice, so we get a break in the action, and Islander power play coming up. The score, the New York Islanders won, the Boston Bruins. The Islanders in the playoffs this year, power play good on 10 of 41 chances, 24.4%. The Bruins are killing off about 82, almost 83% of the penalties against them. Peters knocked the puck away from Bossy, and with help from Peterson, they have dumped it down into the Islander zone. This is Potvin. He and Johnson are on the points. Trottier, Caller, and Bossy the forward line. Thomas Johnson to Brian Trottier, comes over center ice. 4 Bruins were strung out at the blue line. Trottier turns with the puck, gave it to Johnson. It's into the Boston zone and was checked, and O'Connell has cleared the puck. Potvin back to get it with a minute and 20 seconds left in the penalty to Dufour. Eddie Potvin up the middle of the ice. The pass to Trottier, who was waiting at the Boston line. Trottier shoveled it off in front. It's picked up and cleared by Middleton to Peterson. Their two top forwards out killing penalties for the Bruins. Thomas Johnson starts out. Johnson into center ice. Dumped it in off Park. Tonelli races it after it. There's Peters out of the net. Cleared it. Tonelli got it out in front, but Park was there. And again, the Boston goaltender gambling like a Mississippi riverboat gambler.
He is, Jiggs, and you know, Gary Chavers is gambling a little bit, too. He's showing the significance of killing off this penalty by using that kind of penalty killers in Middleton and Peterson.
Brad Park just broke up the Islander rush. Now Johnson has poked it loose for Butch Goring. Back to Persson. Krushelinski is out as a penalty killer along with Middleton at the moment. Johnson over the center ice stripe, flipped it wide of Peters, and again he comes out of the net to play it. Got it off the glass and into the crowd. 23 seconds left in the penalty time to Dufour. As you look at Mike Krushelinski, he'll celebrate his 23rd birthday tomorrow. A native of Montreal. Big kid.
Has meant a lot to the Boston Bruins. You know, you look at the Boston Bruins, they really have one solid line, and that's what they've relied on. Peterson, Middleton, and Krushelinski. The Islanders are able to tie up that line. Shades of Bossy and Trottier in their early years with the New York Islanders.
Well, one of the complaints by the media here in Boston is that they're getting no production out of the left wings with the Bruins. Potvin shoots the puck around the boards. Peters cut it off, played it to the corner for Bork. A long pass to Krushelinski. Into center ice. Krushelinski able to send Palmer over the line. Smith got in front of that drive. Stephen Persson for the Islanders. Dropped it off for Potvin, and the teams are at 6 aside. Goring, dipsy-doodling out of his own zone. Got it to Persson. Comes over the line. Persson fires it around behind the net. Peters cuts it off. Went to cover up on it. It was knocked away. Goring and Bork go to the boards together. Now Keith Prater plays it to the left side and center off Krushelinski, and there's Persson. Stephen Persson's pass. Intercepted by McNabb. Comes in on goal. He shoots. Smith makes the save. Persson slaps it off O'Connell's stick at the blue line. Mike O'Connell, bumped by Tonelli, managed to play it back to Kluzak, to McNabb. Peter McNabb works it behind the Islander goal. Smith out of the net to clear it for Bourne. Crowder stepped in front of him. Bourne managed to get it to Brent Sutter. Sutter with the only goal of the game thus far. Checked at the blue line, and Morrow had to go back. Around to Dwayne Sutter, held in. Kluzak fires one. That went wide to Billy Smith. Bourne off this left wing side, bothered by Keith Crowder as he cleared it to center ice. Brent Sutter knocks it away from O'Connell. Comes over the line. Centers one. Dwayne Sutter couldn't get a poke at it. Brent Sutter picks it up. Out it to Bourne. Goes to the backhand, but it was checked by McNabb. And out at center ice, Morrow covers up for the Islanders. Kenny Morrow across the line with Bourne, but they're offside. A break in the action with 8:42 to play in the opening period at Boston. The
McNabb gets a good opportunity. Last year, 36 goals. He's had as much as 41 in the National Hockey League.
He's had a couple of goals, key goals in the playoffs to this point. 2 goals and an assist. Morrow back in the Islander defense. Got it to Bossy. It's broken up. Crowder backhanded it wide of the Islander net. It comes off the left wing boards, controlled by Kaller. Kaller shoots it wide. Bossy in after it. Fergus stepped in front of him. Tom Fergus, who has struggled through the playoffs. Lane ran into Crowder. The puck came up the right side, and Dufour in a race for it was checked by Morrow. Now Fergus across to Bruce Crowder. The top wing, Crowder chased behind the net, tried to one-hand it in front, but there was Trottier. Trottier to Bossy. Mike Bossy slammed into the boards by Dufour. Trottier picked up the puck, had trouble getting out of his own zone, now managed to clear it. Trottier brings it back in over the line. Ryan Trottier to Anders Kaller. Kaller gave it to Bossy off his stick. Marty Howe and Bossy head to the Boston goal. Bossy knocked down. The puck cleared to Bruce Crowder. Crowder to Dufour. Back to Crowder. Comes over the Islander line. Facing Potvin. Mishandled the puck, and it's cleared out to center ice. Ray Bork picks it up. Had to wait for Dufour to get back onside. Now turns and shoots it into the Islander zone. We're down to 7:25 left in this opening period. 1-0 Islanders. Goring, long pass to Nystrom. Nystrom hit hard by Kluzak, and Gillis comes over the line. Gillis shot hit Potvin's stick. Ends up in the seats behind Billy Smith.
Elbowing penalty, and they used Peterson, and they used Middleton to kill the penalty.
Bork from the blue line. Smith got in front of it. The rebound and went wide. Oh, what a chance there. There's a penalty coming against Potvin. Bork shot behind Smith. A scramble. Came off the post to the right, and McTavish picks it up. McTavish to Kluzak. His shot hit Nystrom and bounced wide. Put out in front again by Krushelinski, and as Potvin picks it up, play is called. A power play coming up for the Bruins. A break in the action. We have 6
To put it in.
The Islanders got control of the puck following the face-off and cleared it down the ice. Billy Carroll out with Butch Goring, Thomas Johnson, and Kenny Morrow to kill off this Boston power play. Bork tries the left side. Keith Crowder shoots it around the boards. It came bouncing off in a strange manner, but Carroll was back quickly to Goring. Goring ran into a check from Bork. Now Carroll is dumped into the boards by Keith Crowder, and they freeze it for a face-off in the Islander at first set. Bork from the line, checked by Bob Bourne, and O'Connell covered up. O'Connell to Peterson. That side, that's Keith Crowder. To Bork, now to O'Connell. Handed it right to Thomas Johnson, who dumps it down inside the Boston zone. It'll be picked up by Bork. Bourne and Carroll move into forecheck as Bork rounds the net. Takes a look. Elects to bring it up and had to turn to get away from Billy Carroll, who was on top of him. Now Bork to the Islander line. Ray Bork into the corner to Peterson, out in front, out of the reach of Middleton. O'Connell held it in, gave it to Bork, and drive. Deflected in front, Smith, his first save. A bouncing puck, and there's Morrow. Eddie Morrow, checked by Peterson. Morrow recovered, lost it to Peterson. Peterson plays it back of the net, intended for Middleton. Johnson stepped in front of him, gave it to Bourne. Bob Bourne chased to the corner. Middleton on one side, Keith Crowder on the other. Puck still loose, they rule. Presses time ticking off in the Boston power play, and now here's Billy Carroll clearing it out of there. It'll go right to Peters. 25 seconds left in the penalty to Potvin. The Bruins come up quickly. A pass to Middleton. Lane took him off the puck. Gordy Lane backhands it into the Boston territory. 16 seconds remaining in the Islander penalty. Peters back of the net to Brad Park. Park gave it to Fergus. To Bruce Crowder. Crowder comes over the Islander line, looked for Dufour. Lane chased Crowder back of the net. Crowder tied up. Fergus feeds it to Park from the blue line. Lets it go, and it was blocked by McEwen. Butch Goring dumps it to center. Potvin was back on, unable to get a stick on it. Peters lets it go for O'Connell, and icing was waved off. Potvin steals the puck. Up to Keller. Fenn on the shot. Crotchet checked by Peters as they tried to go around him. The Bruins got a big break there. Fergus checked at center ice by Caller, and here's Gordy Lane. Lane up the middle, out of the reach of Caller. Park fed it to the left wing. Dufour's pass. Delayed offside, and now Caller starts out for the Islanders. Sends Bossy over the line. Bossy works around Kluzak. Can't get a backhander away. Crotchet's drive. Good stop by Peters. The rebound at the side of the net. Bossy puts it out in front. Caller banged at it. It went wide. Crotchet back to Lane from the point. Into Trottier, tested Peters and made a pad save, and Park clears it right to Potvin. His drive is wide. Peters steers it off. Bossy upended in front. There'll be a penalty here to Fergus and the Bruins for hooking. A break in the action. The Islanders go to the power play.
A hook, not a dive, and the Boston Bruins will be a man short. How close can you come? Peters roaming more than I had expected him to, Jiggs. He is all over the ice.
Penalty to Fergus is called at 16:08. I would think there are times in this period that Jerry Cheevers would like to have a chain or a rope at least to keep him at that goal crease.
Cheevers was no stranger to roaming.
Well, that's true. Potvin's shot was blocked, and up the right side comes Barry Peterson over center ice into the Islander zone with a drive that missed on the right side. Bounces all the way back to the Boston line for Ray Bork. Bork and Park out to kill it off with Peterson and Krushelinski, and Park has slapped it down into the Islander zone. McEwen picks it up. He and Potvin are at the points of this power play with Bourne and the two Sutter brothers as the forwards. McEwen shot it wide of Peters. It rebounded out in front. Peters cleared it. Potvin knocked it out of the air. Into the corner to Bourne. Bob Bourne to Brent Sutter. Brent got it to Twain. Lane Sutter trying to pull away from Park. Back to Potvin. His drive blocked by Peters. It's loose at the side of the net. Taken by Dwayne Sutter to Bob Bourne. Back to McEwen from the line. His drive blocked by Peters. The rebound is smothered. And Peters again comes up yelling and screaming at Dwayne Sutter. Peters is a native of Edmonton, Alberta. Sutter's, of course, from Viking, which is in between Calgary and Edmonton.
Whistle hadn't gone, Jake. Peters, while he seemed to have a grip on the puck, obviously didn't. The Islanders tried to dig it loose. There's the shot from the point. Peters makes the save. The puck is still loose as Dwayne Sutter tried to bang it loose. Brad Park went in to aid his fallen goaltender.
Now 59 seconds remaining in the penalty against Fergus.
There's the kind of pass by Peters. He tried to shoot it out, was unsuccessful. Some think that could have been a hand pass as Dennis Potvin knocked it down with his left hand, and Bourne come up with the puck.
And Janssen now for the Islanders gave it to Kaller on the right side. Bossy and Trache are the forwards along with Kaller. Here's Janssen to drive. Peters the save. Trache the rebound, went back to the net. Trache trying to set up Bossy. The play broken up, and Peterson for the Bruins clears it, but not out. This is Thomas Janssen. Janssen moves right in, a drive. Peters got the right pad on it. And the Bruins able to clear it to center. Peterson got it up in the air, and Billy Smith comes out for the Islanders. There's the puck. We're going to get a penalty call here by referee Bob Myers. Oh, no, a high stick.
That's right, Jiggs. It was called a high stick. Anderson, or I should say, Thomas Janssen got his stick up in the air, knocked the puck down. Look at the action at the other end of the ice, though. Peters is getting lots of work here. In the first period, Trache checked by O'Connell before Trache could get the puck over the top of Peters. He was checked by O'Connell. Look at the nice save as Peters got his right pad on their own end of the ice. Peters gave it away a couple of times, and his defenseman guilty also.
Now Bork at the Islander line. A long shot scooped up by Billy Smith over to Janssen with 22 seconds left in the Islander power play. Bob Bourne fed it to Trache. Shot it off the boards in the Boston zone. Middleton goes back for it. Nifty lost it to Tonelli. John Tonelli checked in turn. Here's Bossy getting a stick on it. Back to Tonelli. Knocked away from him at the blue line. It'll be brought out by O'Connell. O'Connell to Bork. Bork comes over the New York Islander line. Shot it around behind the net. There's Thomas Janssen now up the left side for John Tonelli. Knocked it away from O'Connell, who recovers at center ice. Games are at 6 aside with 1 minute and 40 seconds left in the opening period. Brent Sutter's goal has the Islanders up 1-0. 40 Lane at center ice. On it wide of Pete Peters. The rookie, Kluzak, is back. Kluzak up the left side, out into center ice. McNabb, good pass to Keith Crowder. He was bumped by Lane, recovers. In front, McNabb bangs at it. Smith makes a dazzling stop. Gave the puck to Tonelli. Now to Nystrom. Nystrom at center ice. Cuts to the right, shot it off the boards into the Boston zone. Peters handling the puck as he does so well. Got it to McTavish. McTavish into center ice. Keith Crowder relayed it into the Islander zone. That's McNabb chasing it. He and Nystrom come on. Hard hit. McTavish trying to dig it off the boards with a minute to go. McNabb is knocked down. The puck is beneath him. It comes loose for Nystrom. Nystrom to Butch Goring. Tonelli comes down the left side as Goring cuts over center ice to the left wing into the Boston zone, trying to come in around Park. Butch Goring to Tonelli, back to Goring, had a poke at it, but couldn't get much of a shot away, and the Bruins managed to move it to center ice. This is Potvin. Potvin to John Tonelli. Tonelli shot it in wide of Peters. Gord Kluzak with it now. Half a minute to play in the period. Kluzak to McTavish. McTavish fired one wide of Billy Smith. Back comes Bourne. And on his effort to get it out, Bruce Crowder's shot blocked in front by Potvin. Potvin gets sandwiched between Bruce Crowder and Dufour, and the crowd here at the Garden react to that. Bork just drilled it wide of the Islander net. Bob Bourne being tied up on the boards by Fergus. Connor moves in along with Potvin, and with a whistle here, we have 6 minutes left in the opening
Chance at Smith as he deflected the shot.
Now here's O'Connell from the draw into the chest protector of Smith, and he holds on with 3 seconds left in the period.
The Chicago native, number 20, O'Connell, he'd love to have that one back to shoot it over.
Upcoming at our intermission, a review of the Islander win over the New York Rangers. And
he's a good skating left winger. His size, they want it. They want to win the draw, the Boston Bruins. Get it back to Mike O'Connell at the point. They want to use Kluzak as a screen. He'd make a good one. He's tall and he's rangy.
Referee Bob Myers talking to Peterson, relaying something to the Boston bench and Coach Jerry Cheevers. Brad Park comes out. Middleton is going to go off. Now John D'Amico backs up a couple of the Bruins, comes over to talk to Brad Park, and Park is pointing up to the clock. I think their complaint is the fact that it was a false face-off and 1 second ticked on it. Now Peterson against Trache. The puck dropped back to O'Connell. He shot it off the goalpost just as the green light came on. The Bruins won that face-off in the Islander end of the ice, and a good shot by O'Connell right at the end of the period. But the Islanders got the goal. Now the face-off to begin the second period. Goring against Peterson, and the draw went to the Bruins. Park to Krushelinski. He shot it down into the Islanders' zone. Potvin knocked it away from Peterson. Potvin again, this time to Goring. Goring out at center ice, who checked off the puck by Krushelinski. Goring caught up with him, took him off the play, and there's Potvin across to John Tonelli. Rink wide to Nystrom. Nystrom can't get it around Ray Bourque. Bourque had 5 of those 14 Bruin shots in the opening period. His just fed it to Middleton, across to Krushelinski. Lost it, turned, picked it up. Got it to Peterson, comes over the line, hit hard by Bobby Nystrom. Potvin with the puck. Works it around to Tonelli on the left side. Tonelli, checked by Peterson. Here's Krushelinski on right wing. Went to center one that hit Potvin. Tonelli has it back of the goal. Up the right wing boards for Bobby Nystrom. Nystrom checked by Peter McNabb. Tonelli gets a stick on it. Lost his balance, and O'Connell feeds it quickly. Middleton over the line with a drive. That went wide of the net. Krushelinski on the left side. Hit hard by Nystrom. They both go to the ice, and here's Potvin with the puck. Harry Potvin to Trottier. Trottier across the line, put on the brakes. O'Connell right on top of him as he played it back of the net. Peters, Keller moved in quickly. Anders Keller picks up the loose puck. Keller trying to set up Trottier, and O'Connell broke up that play. Now Keller works it back of the goal. Kluzak is there. Kluzak to Krushelinski. Morrow rides hurt on him. Here's Bossy in front to Keller, and he tipped it wide. Trottier on the right wing bangs into Keith Crowder. Johnson shot from the blue line, went wide. Bossy the rebound, and he shot that high and wide of the net. Comes off the boards on the far side. Crowder and McNabb trying to dig it loose. Peter McNabb has cleared it out into center ice, and back goes Morrow. Kenny Morrow across the Bruin line lets one go that was off the target. Came back to Thomas Johnson. Plays it behind the Bruin net. Bossy into the corner to pick it up. Got away from Kluzak. Left the puck for Keller to Morrow. His shot steered aside by Peters. Keith Crowder on the right wing. Bossy checks him. Brent Sutter picked up the puck. Left it for Bossy. Moves in. Shoots. That went wide as Peters came out to meet it. And Peters covers up on the puck to get a face-off.
Right at the beginning of the second period, Stefan Pearson returned, Jiggs, as you'd said, to the Islander dressing room just before the period got underway.
Now here's Wayne Sutter breaking up a Boston play. Bruins recovered, managed to get it to center ice, and we watch Gordy Lane work it back inside the Boston line. Ray Bourque out to center ice. It was picked off by Wayne Sutter. Comes over the line on right wing, bothered behind by Dufour, and his shot smothered by Peters, and again he'll get a face-off. Gene a chance to test his golf.
I'd sooner see them play back-to-back games.
I think a lot of the players would agree with you, too.
This is a point where it gets dragged out a little bit, I think, too much, Kid.
Krushelinski breaks into center ice at the Islander line. The pass to Middleton. Morrow knocked him off the puck, and there's Brent Sutter with it. Sutter checked by Krushelinski. Johnson clears it around the boards. Peterson to Middleton. He's knocked off his pins. The puck came back to Ray Bourque. To Peterson. Put it out in front. Krushelinski knocked to the ice by Thomas Johnson, and we're going to get a cross-checking penalty against the Islanders.
Thomas Johnson sitting out. A cross-checking penalty at 3:04. The Bruins go to the power play.
And O'Connell with the puck. Slapped it right at Brian Trottier, who picks it up, feeds it across to Goring. Goring had to wait for it. Now gets in around Bourque, was knocked down, and Bourque has picked up the puck. Billy Carroll has come out to replace Trottier. Bourque moved it over to McNabb. McNabb laid it out to center ice. Potvin shoots it right back in again. It went off Bourque, hit Goring, but he couldn't control it. Bourque comes over center ice. Sends Peterson over the line with a pass to McNabb in front to Crowder, who couldn't make contact, and Gord Lane dumps it off the boards and down into the Boston end of the ice. Out comes Bob Bourne to join Billy Carroll as the forwards for the Islanders. Peterson's pass intercepted by Bourne, then to Carroll and knocked away from him back into the Islanders' zone. Billy Smith sweeps it around the boards. Peterson in after it. Peterson to McNabb. Middleton open in front of the net. The puck went off Middleton and wide. Here's Gordy Lane. Lane had it stolen. McNabb out in front, couldn't handle it. Bourque holds it in. Bourque a drive. That went off the left arm of Billy Smith. McNabb into the corner, comes out of the corner with a drive. Smith got a piece of that, and it goes up. Middleton off to the left side. Fergus on the right. Ball start again at the face-off, and they'll line up with 55 seconds left in Johnson's play.
Were unsuccessful. They've had their best opportunities here.
Puck went right to Billy Smith, got it to McEwen. Shot it away from Park and back into the Boston end of the ice. Pete Peters leaves it for Michael Connell. Now Now the Bruins start out. O'Connell across to Fergus, up to Middleton. Races down left wing. The pass to Peterson to the right side to Park, who moved in quickly. Brad Park works it around behind the net. There's Middleton. He and Morrow bump together, and Morrow has managed to shoot at the length of the ice again. 25 seconds left in this Bruins power play. O'Connell takes a look. Billy Carroll right on top of him, forced him to turn. Carroll parked out in front of the net. Now he peels off a little as O'Connell makes the play with a pass to Fergus. Tom Fergus across to Peterson. Peterson missed Middleton as he cut up from the left wing side. Rick Middleton to Peterson to O'Connell. O'Connell fed it to the left wing. Fergus had hesitated. Now O'Connell holds it in with a pass to Park. Park into the corner. Peterson centers right to the goal mouth. Teams are at 6 aside again. O'Connell to Peterson. Peterson bumped on the boards by Morrow, and Billy Carroll has picked up the puck. Cleared it to center. It rolls on edge into the Boston zone. It won't go far enough for icing, and the Islanders change on the fly. Trache is out with Bossy and Caller at the moment. Potvin and Lane on defense. Denny Potvin to Gord Lane. To Anders Caller. Caller's pass right on Trache's stick across to Bossy, but Krushelinski snuck in to broke up that play. Krushelinski, a long shot. Billy Smith, the save. Plays it back of the net. Around to the boards for Bossy. He and Dufour collide, and Caller plays it over to Trache. Trache across the blue line. Drop pass to Caller. Couldn't hold on to it. And again, the Islanders chase it back into their own end of the ice. Bossy and Dufour, and then Potvin ran into Dufour, flattening him. Here's Bruce Crowder for the Bruins. Work from the line, and a shot went off Trache and wide of the net. Potvin cleared it to the corner. Gordy Lane and Bruce Crowder chased it. Trache came up with it. Trache over center ice into the Boston zone. Brian Trache works it around the boards and hit Peters, who was out of the net. Peters and Kluzak collided, and Caller came up with the puck centered, but Bork broke up the play. Here's Johnson in off the left point. Thomas Johnson falls. Kluzak chases the puck. Gord Kluzak off the boards, out into center ice. The Islanders had a chance to play it. Puck doesn't go far enough for icing anyway. 6.5 minutes gone in the second period. Still 1-0 Islanders. Scoring moves over the center ice stripe across the Boston line. A drive. Peters the save. Big rebound, and it's cleared by Kluzak and just barely missed referee Bob Myers. Johnson got it to Nystrom. Cleared it across the line, but there's Park. Now to McTavish. McTavish into the Islanders zone as it's opened up considerably in the second period. Nystrom takes it on right wing. Gave it to Thomas Johnson. Johnson over center ice. A shot from the Boston line. Peters got the right skate on it. Johnson slips in around Park to pick it up, then lost the handle on it, and here's Brad Park. Park plays it across on this left side. Marty Howe shoveled ahead on a hand pass. He gets a face-off deep in the Boston zone is left. Pete Peters. Howe, who was without a stick, made a hand pass, thus the face-off at the spot. The Islanders got a quick shot away. Dwayne Sutter put it off the left shoulder of Peters, up high.
That was on the mark, too, Jiggs. Peters in the right position, where he should be.
Now Peterson over center ice, shoots it wide of Billy Smith, and there's Potvin back. Potvin dumped it out to center ice. Marty Howe turned to get away from Dwayne Sutter. Got it deep into the Islanders zone. Peterson in after it. Potvin checked him. Middleton couldn't get a stick on it as Lane knocked it away from him. Here's Middleton again, back to Park. Brad Park in front to Middleton, a backhander and drive. What a stop by Billy Smith off Peterson. He just slid off to the right side. Great chance there for the Bruins. An excellent save by William Smith.
Best save of the hockey game for Billy Smith. He's had several in the first period twice.
Of course, Cheevers has the right to the last change rather than scream. He may have wanted to get Fergus, Dufour, and Bruce Crowder off the ice, but did not. The Islanders have dumped it down into the Boston zone. There's no icing. Peters out of the net to play it. Got it to Luke Dufour, and he's hit hard by Gilbert. Here's Fergus across to Bruce Crowder. Crowder checked by Thomas Johnson. Crowder recovers the puck. Fed it to the blue line to O'Connell. Shot it into the corner. Bounces out in front of the net and cleared by Smith to Nystrom. Bobby Nystrom goes back in the net with a pass to Thomas Johnson. Left side to Gilbert. Now to Morrow. Kenny Morrow at center ice. Shot it in wide of Peters. O'Connell chasing it. Cleared it to the blue line. Here's Thomas Johnson. Johnson coming right in on goal. He shoots. He scores! Thomas Johnson shot off the arm of Pete Peters. It's 2-0 Islanders.
As it happened in the first period, it happened here again in the second. The Islanders able to take advantage of a mistake by the Bruins. They did not clear the puck. They tried to clear it out blindly. Thomas Johnson intercepted it. That shot hit Peters just under the left. Johnson finding the mark.
It's an unassisted goal for Thomas Johnson at the 8:37 mark, and Trottier narrowly missed making it 3-0. Lane's shot was blocked by McTavish. Bork dumps it into center ice, and Kaller comes back. Anders Kaller up this right wing side, away from McNabb. Right into a check from Keith Crowder, and Trottier with the puck has slapped it back of the Boston goal. There is Bork. Bossy works in on him. Bork managed to get it ahead to McTavish. It's held in at the line by Trottier, but went right to McTavish. To Keith Crowder, and the pass is out of his reach. Potvin back. And Potvin bothered as he went back of the net, ridden into the corner boards by Keith Crowder. Finally knocked down. The puck in his skates, and we'll get a whistle for a face-off. And 10-4. Ethan Persson has not returned to the Islander bench. Long shot there by Bork is blocked by Billy Smith, and he is covered up from the Shea Stadium. Both games Friday night at 8, Saturday at 1:30, right here on WOR-TV. Thomas Johnson for the Islanders, who just made it 2-0, cleared the puck to center and back into the Boston zone. It was taken there by Bork. Brent Sutter into forecheck. Bork gave it to Park. Park comes over center ice. The pass to Crowder off his stick. Brent Sutter clears it to Bourne on left wing. Now to Dwayne Sutter, one-on-one with Bork. Morrow moves up on the right side, takes the pass. Morrow shot, glove save by Peters.
What a stop by Keith Peters. He just kept the goal. Islanders had isolated Brad Park on that shot from Kenny Morrow. Best save for Peters in this game.
Now Lane's shot is deflected by Krushelinski and goes into the seats back of Peters.
Islanders battled the Bruins right down to the last 5 games for the least goals given up throughout the season.
Now Fergus, a long shot handled by Billy Smith. Smith around to Potvin. To Tonelli, relayed it outside the line. There's Goring with it, dropped it back to Lane, goes to the left side for Tonelli, comes into the Boston zone, is turned around by a check from Fergus. Tonelli still managed to muscle the puck back to Potvin, and his shot is blocked by Peters. He covers up and has frozen it long enough for a face. Peters on the year, a 2.36 goals against average, 40 victories, 11 losses, 9 ties, 8 times he shut out the opponents. McEwen from the blue line just shot it wide of that Boston goal, and it comes up the left wing, controlled by Dufour. Sent Bruce Crowder over the line. He and Morrow go back of the net. Crowder is knocked down. The puck cleared away from Fergus, held in by O'Connell. A shot. Smith, the stick save. Here's Dufour on left wing. Billy Smith got a piece of that drive, and Tonelli comes out on the left wing for the Islanders. Poked it away from O'Connell, and going back is Marty Howe. Howe to Dufour. Missed the pass. Morrow gives it to Nystrom. Bruce Crowder right on top of him, and Goring goes all the way back for the Islanders. A pass to Michael McEwen. Now to Nystrom. Bobby Nystrom gave it to Goring, comes into the Boston zone. Around O'Connell is upended, no penalty, and Peters has cleared it, not out. McEwen from the blue line, and it's tipped by Tonelli and just wide. Butch Goring chasing it. Goring trying to come off this left wing side, gave it to Morrow. Danny Morrow goes back to the net with a pass to Nystrom out in front. Peters the save, and he covers up with a goal. Al Arbor has Trottier out there with Bossy and Kaller. Middleton controls the puck and comes over the center ice stripe, working on Potvin, trying to cut inside. Good pass. Peterson's backhander is turned aside by Smith. Here's Gordy Lane starting out. Worked it up the left wing boards out of the reach of Kaller, and Park hands it right back to Trottier. His shot is blocked by Peters. Steve Peters, who handles the puck so well, dumps it out to center ice, but right to the Islanders, and Lane fires it around the boards.
He's been giving it away, Jiggs. He's been handing it to the Islanders more than he has his own teammates. That time he made a drastic error. He shot it, but he's not doing it. A little bit of Hollywood in there, I would have to guess.
Good point. I feel like I'm being double-teamed by those big bad Bruins in the late 60s and early 70s.
Just slid in beside Jiggs McDonald on the other side. Our friend Derek Sanderson. Nice to see him.
Derek says he can't hear you. We'll see what we can do to correct that. Brad Park is clearing the puck to Peterson. It came off to Kluzak. Comes out over the line into center ice. Kluzak moves in on Billy Smith, but mishandled the puck. Kenny Morrow trying to clear it. Got it to the blue line. Knocked down, as you see, by Janssen ahead to Trottier. Brian Trottier slips it to Kaller. Comes over the line. Cuts inside Park, and then is checked on the play. And Peterson dumps it out down into the Islanders zone. Janssen goes back, stepped in front of Rick Middleton. Gave it to Bossy on the right wing side. To Kaller, his long shot off the pad of Peterson. He misplayed, Peters at least. He misplayed it with the catching glove, and it hit his left pad. So the Islanders forced to chase it all the way back into their own zone. We have just over 7 minutes to play. Second period, a long breaking pass off Nystrom's stick, went right to Pete Peters. He'll cover up and get a face-off, and that Boston
Missed it completely. I don't know where his concentration is.
Now McTavish, upended by Potvin at the Islander blue line, and we get an offside on the play. I don't know if we got things working for Derek or not. Now we got a little pushing and shoving in the Islander zone.
Greg Gilbert and Keith Crowder. A few words. Quickly, the linesmen get in between. Penalties. Myers is going to hand out a break in the action here. The Boston Garden with the score. The Islanders 2, Boston nothing.
So Brent Sutter out with Dwayne Sutter and Bourne for the Islanders. Potvin and McEwen on the points. McEwen shot it around the boards in the Boston zone as the Islanders have the man advantage for only the second time. I think it's the third time, rather, in this game. The puck is frozen to the right of Peters. Islanders without Stefan Persson, another key member of the power play unit. He came out after the first period, at least to the start of the second, came to the players' bench, turned around, and went back to the dressing room. Has not reappeared. Al Arbor will send Bob Bourne in to take the face-off against Peterson. Barry Peterson poked it away from Bourne, picks it up, dumps it down the right wing boards. Krushelinski chasing it with McEwen. McEwen worked it to Brent Sutter, back to McEwen. Michael McEwen into center ice, lines up for a long shot that was wide of Peters. Bork slams it off the boards, and Potvin will pick it up at center ice.
Nothing like having local knowledge, Jiggs, of the bounces off your own boards.
That'll help, all right. Bob Bourne gets tangled up with Bork. Here's Potvin with a shot right into the pads of Peters, and he's held on. Peters up on
far out of the net. He handles the puck well, but he's been handing it away.
I think he has a reputation for handling the puck well, Eddie, but I don't think at this point he's got his timing. He's leaving the net at poor times.
You watch Potvin going back for the puck on this Islander power play. 1 minute and 5 seconds left in Crowder's roughing penalty. Potvin works it around the boards. Bossy gets tangled up with Krushelinski. Here's Johnson off the left point. Over to Potvin, back in front to Bossy. He shoots, he scores! Mike Bossy has made it 3-0.
A short side shot. A power play goal, the first one of the hockey game. And Mike Bossy, a sharp shooter, puts it into the left of Peters. Let's take a look. A high angle camera. There's Bossy, has lots of time, and he blistered it right under the left glove.
Johnson and Potvin get the assist. The goal at 14:08. Period number 2. Goring sends Nystrom into the Boston zone. The puck went bouncing off his stick. Nystrom chased back in the goal by Howe. Tonelli after with Park. Came loose, controlled by 33-year-old Brad Park. Tonelli forces him to turn. Around the boards to Marty Howe. Ahead to Gillis, off his stick, out into center ice. Fergus ran into Morrow. Now here's Howe in control of it. Howe's pass in and out of the skates of John Tonelli, who one-handed it ahead for Nystrom. Nystrom checked by Park at center ice. So Barr dumps it into the Islanders zone. The Islanders send Kenny Morrow back for it. They've taken an assist away back in the first period. Dwayne Sutter is not credited with an assist on that goal by Brent. It reads Brent Sutter from Bourne at 3:36. The Bruins start out of their own zone. Fergus comes over the line. Gave it to Barr, back to Fergus. Gillis unable to pick up the loose puck, and back comes Brent Sutter. Up to Bourne, works on O'Connell as he crossed the line. Come in around O'Connell, in front to Dwayne Sutter, he scores! Bourne, Dwayne Sutter, and Brent Sutter do it again. It is 4-0 Islanders.
Boston again guilty. Mike O'Connell, who has played outstanding hockey for the Boston Bruins. Watch him right here. Makes a poor effort to get a hold of Bourne, and Bourne's long reach and his quickness gets the puck to Dwayne Sutter, 6th of the playoffs.
Dwayne Sutter from Bourne. Brent Sutter gets an assist as well at 15-15, and we watch Dwayne Sutter shoot it off the boards into the Boston zone. O'Connell after it. The natives a little restless here at the Boston Garden. Their team down 4-0 to the Islanders. Home ice advantage slipped away from them early in the series against Buffalo. That ran it to 4, and that's where we stand with 4 minutes and 10 seconds left in the second period. Gordy Lane and Bossy digging for the puck. It went to Trottier, who couldn't clear it out of there. Now Middleton to Peterson, and he shot it wide. Bossy picks it up on right wing. Good pass to Keller. Comes over center ice. Back to Bossy. Cuts in with a drive. Peters out to make the save. Trache and Peterson on the draw. Trache got it to Janssen. Plays it around the boards. There's Peters. Keller tied up by Bork momentarily. Bossy got it back to Morrow from the blue line. Into the corner to Trache to Bossy. Bossy put it out in front. Islanders unable to make contact with it. And Middleton comes down the right wing side. The pass to Krushelinski. Checked in the Islander zone. Middleton goes to the corner. Put it out in front. Trache lost it to Peterson. Then Trache recovers. Gave it to Morrow. Eddie Morrow comes up the left wing. His pass intercepted by Bork. Keller got a stick on it. Morrow unable to pick it up at center ice. And Krushelinski sends Middleton in, but it's off.
He was on his way to the net.
Butch Goring centers for John Tonelli and Bobby Nystrom for the Islanders as we watch Park work from behind his own goal. Up the middle, out of the reach of Dufour, wide of the Islander net. Dufour gets there first. No icing. Dufour lost the puck to Lane, and Nystrom able to clear it out. Gordy Lane backhanded it into center ice. It's picked up by Park. Fergus now to Kruzak. Out to center ice off Bruce Crowder's stick. He races it after it. Potvin stepped in front of him. Danny Potvin used the boards to get the puck to Nystrom. Checked in turn by Tom Fergus. Scoring right on top of him, and there will be a penalty here against Butch Goring.
As period closes, they trail 4-0.
Key in this situation is that the Islanders have lost Butch Goring, who's normally out there in a situation like this. So Bob Bourne takes his place. Along with Billy Carroll, we watch Peter McNabb come over the line to Keith Crowder, put it out in front to Bork. Bork turns at the Islander line into the corner to Peterson. Peterson's pass cut off by Morrow. Eddie Morrow sends Billy Carroll down the right wing. Bork is back. Carroll trying to cut in around him. Bork took him off the puck, and Peters slid it across to Keith Crowder. Billy Carroll stepped in front of Crowder's pass and went off his skates, and now Peterson rounds the net, dropped it back to O'Connell. Mike O'Connell comes up the left side, into center ice, shoots it around the boards. Billy Smith lets it go to the far corner. Janssen is double teamed. Now in comes Bourne. Hockey League with a 2.36 individual goals against average on the year. 8 shutouts. A new life after coming here from Philadelphia, but the Islanders, think back to 1980, eliminated the Flyers with Pete Peters in the Philadelphia net. Trache knocked it away from Middleton and went right back to the shifty Boston forward, but now it's cleared down the ice. 47 seconds left in Goring's penalty as Bork starts from behind his own goal. Ray Bork to Peterson over center ice. Peterson shot it around the boards. There's Thomas Janssen. Janssen failed to clear it out. Brad Park comes off the boards. Gave it to Bork. Out of Park. Park looks for his options. Very little movement on this power play. The pass to Rick Middleton. Return pass to Park was broken up. Middleton gets it again. Gave it to Bork. Bork centered one off Morrow and up into the... Trache pulled it back to Potvin. Across to Bourne. Bourne gave it to Trache. Comes over center ice. The pass to Bourne as he cut in on this right wing side. Bob Bourne lost it to Fergus. Tom Fergus down the right wing, over the Islander line, cuts to the left, let a shot go that hit Lane. Here's Peterson with it. Put it out in front off Lane's stick. Loose puck for Fergus. He can't get a backhander. Now Park shot. Hit Potvin. Lane in the goal crease has tipped it for the Islanders. This time Fergus for the Bruins. Bruins got it back to Bork. His shot on target. Smith clears the puck after making the save, and it was hit with a high stick, and we'll get a face-off.
They sent big Gord Kluzak, the defenseman, up in front of the net at that point to try and screen Billy Smith. You'd think that they would do the same thing on the power play.
Well, it didn't work there, and they don't give it a chance here. The time runs down in the second period as Bork fed it to Park. Again to Bork, and that'll do it as it rolled off his stick. A siren sounding to end period number 2, a period that is dominated in the scoring statistics, at least by the New York Islanders, as they score 3 times, building their lead to 4-0 over the Bruins. Billy Smith leads his team to the Islander dressing room. Goals in the period. Bobby Nystrom on the right side. John Tonelli on the left wing with Potvin and Lane on defense. And the puck cleared back of the Boston goal. Brad Park left it for Ray Bork. Up the right side to Middleton, who was out with Krushelinski and Peterson. Peterson to Krushelinski. Potvin moved over, knocked it off his stick, and it's picked up by Bork. To Krushelinski, backhanded it wide. Bouncing puck handled by Billy Smith. Works it around the boards. Krushelinski went to center one. There's Gordy Lane. Now Peterson back into the goal. Potvin rode him into the corner, and Lane moved it up the wing, held in by Krushelinski, centered. That hit Lane and deflected to John Tonelli. Gillevy's pass went off the skates of Park. Back into Peterson, who was trapped in the out on the left wing. Bossy on the right for the Islanders. McNabb with McTavish and Crowder. Keith Crowder for the Bruins. Buzak and O'Connell back on the Boston defense. Backed in, cleared the puck to center ice. Keith Crowder unable to pick it up, and Trottier forces the Bruins to go back. Peterson left it for Kluzak, slaps it around the boards to McTavish. Up the left side, out of the reach of Peter McNabb. It was cleared by Trottier, but right to O'Connell across the line. Gave it to McTavish. His drive was wide of Billy Smith. Bossy on the right wing boards. Shoots it into the center ice zone. It bounces right to Pete Peters. Peters left it for Kluzak. Again to McTavish on left wing. Is checked in his home zone. Here's Keller with the puck. Anders Keller across to Thomas Johnson. Moves in deep. Went to the backhand. His pass broken up. Keller's shot is blocked by Peters.
Good move again by Thomas Johnson. End result, a shot by Anders Keller, but it's not.
Wins the face-off here, but Lane is checked. Recovers at center ice. Backhanded it, and it was apparently in the Boston players' bench or hit somebody.
Stoppage of play.
On the draw, Marty Howe played it to Fergus. Fergus forces the Islanders to chase it in their own zone, and this is the captain, Benny Potvin. The Bourne on the left side, tipped it out into center ice, and back came Park. Brad Park, long pass. This is Dufour coming in on the left wing, and his shot went wide of the net. Park races over, held it in at the right point, got it to Fergus. He's checked. Puck went loose. Now Bruce Crowder at least taken off the play by Potvin, and Lane dumps it out of there. This time it'll go wide of Peters, and as Howe...
Park scored at will.
Those are the thoughts of Derek Sanderson in that series. Game 2 is in Edmonton tonight. Trottier down. Back at his skates. Lost the puck. Middleton put it out in front. Peterson turned. That hit Morrow. And Goring starts down the right side. Bothered by Krushelinski as he backhanded it to the Boston line. Number 7 is Ray Bourque. Takes a look. Nystrom in forechecking. The pass went to the right wing side. Held in by John Tonelli. Tonelli and Melnick go to the ice together. Melnick up for a rare shift in this game. Here's Nystrom. Nystrom back to Janssen. Moves in from the point. He shoots. Peters the save, and Bourque is there. Bourque slaps the rebound around to Krushelinski. Tonelli stepped in front of him, cleared it to the corner. Nystrom and Melnick bumped together. The puck is in the skates of Nystrom, kicked loose by Tonelli, trying to get away from Peterson, put it out in front, and went right to Ray Bourque. Bourque to Middleton. Janssen broke up that pass. Shoots it back into the Boston zone, and offside is...
Important, Jiggs.
Now Trottier on the straw managed to get it to Bossy. Kicked it back to Potvin, off the boards. Knocked down and shot into the Islanders' zone by O'Connell. Ferguson after it. Bossy is able to clear it. O'Connell held it right at the blue line. His backhander knocked down and cleared by Potvin. Keller races down the left wing across the line. Anders Keller is checked by O'Connell, and the Bruins move it to center ice. Dufour couldn't pick it up on the other side of Potvin, and here's Lane. Gordy Lane to Keller. Checked by Bruce Crowder. They pin it on the boards. Crowder has managed to get it loose. Potvin for the Islanders. Now to Keller to Trottier. Trottier shoots it into the Boston zone. Peters cuts it off. Left it for Gord Kluzak. Up the left side to Dufour, who backed into the referee. Dufour to Crowder. Bruce Crowder into the Islanders zone, was knocked down by Morrow and Wayne Merrick as well. Here's Thomas Johnson leading the rush. Johnson with a goal and an assist tonight. Gave it to Nystrom. It came right back to Johnson. Johnson pass hit McNabb. Thomas Johnson over to clear it for Morrow. Morrow slaps it off the boards. That's going the length of the ice. And again, the Islanders are going to be called for 5 years. They finished second. Now Morrow has moved the puck to Johnson. Tried to clear it out. It hit the referee. Johnson and Keith Crowder in a battle for it. McTavish pried it off the boards. Was checked hard by Brent Sutter. McTavish picks it up. Tough-nosed kid. McTavish trying to put it out in front. Brent Sutter all over top of him, and Bourne comes back to get control of it. Bourne flipped it over the head of Brad Park. Park recovers at center ice. Played it into the Islanders' zone, and again, there's Thomas Johnson. Park at center to Crowder. His pass deflected. Loose in the Boston zone, picked up by Dwayne Sutter. Effort to get it to the blue line, came out to center ice, and that's Morrow. Chased back by McNabb, who then cut it to Johnson, to Brent Sutter, relayed it up left wing, but Bob Bourne was headed for the player change. Tonelli and Goring have come out on the ice for the Islanders. Goring just intercepted an errant pass, tried to set up Dwayne Sutter, and that was out of the reach. McTavish turns. We have played just over 5 minutes of this final period. McTavish to Keith Crowder. Crowder across the Boston line, cutting to the right side. Lane rides hard on him in front to McTavish, and he trotted right through the goal mouth. Bork moves in off the left point. Got it to Peter McNabb. McNabb, then Bork rounds the goal. Bork tries to come up this left wing side. Potvin knocks him off the puck and went right to Keith Crowder to McTavish. McTavish goes back of the net. Everybody covered in front. He comes out himself with a backhander that was wide. Keith Crowder shot into the chest protector of Smith, and he covers up and holds on. There is a break in the action with 14 minutes, 17 seconds to play in the game, and our score, the Islanders 4. The
Bruins scored twice for Edmonton. It's 2-1 in the first period, Edmonton over Chicago.
Ryan Trottier just went down to block Bork shot, and the puck is in behind Billy Smith. The Bruins get a goal from Peterson. It's 4-1.
Well, to get things going, he was down around the net behind Billy Smith. That kind of lets the team get cooled off a little bit. Some of that momentum may be lost in cleaning up of the ice.
Now we watch Bork move out again with a pass to Peterson at center ice. Back to Bork, cuts it on goal. He shoots, he scores!
A one-man show. They've seen it here before in the Boston Garden. And Ray Bork, on a perfect pass, broke in behind the Islander defense. And quickly, the fans and the team feel they're back in the hockey game. Morrow victimized on the perfect pass to Bork. He goes to his backhand. Look at the stick of Billy Smith. He tried to sprung him loose behind Kenny Morrow. Things are coming alive here for the Bruins in the third period.
Ellie comes in over the Boston line with a pass intended for Nystrom, picks it up off the boards, and is hammered by Melnick. Melnick had spent the entire season in Baltimore in the American League. Tonelli up to Goring, and the play was broken up by Bork. Up the right side to Gillis. Across to Peterson. Lane got a stick on that. Middleton gave it to Peterson, and the Bruins slap it into the Islander end of the ice. Billy Smith headed off for Potvin to Tonelli. Tonelli comes up on the left side with a pass to Nystrom. Works on Kluzak. Nystrom turns. Lane moves up. Nystrom plays it back of the goal, and Peters out of the net. Dumps it off the glass, held in by Potvin. And he Potvin to Goring to the corner for Tonelli. Tonelli trying to turn to get around O'Connell. Can't do it, and Kluzak clears it to the opposite wing. There's Lane. And Nystrom put it out in front. It was tipped, however. And Bruce Crowder moves up the right side. Over the Islander line with a slap shot that hit Potvin and went bouncing off the glass. 2-4, moved it back of the goal, but right to Denny Potvin of the Islanders. Now to Nystrom. 3 Bruins back. Tonelli moves up. Nystrom dumped it in over the line, but right to O'Connell. Eyes the left side. Fergus into the Islander zone. Drop pass. Hit Brent Sutter. He shoots it into the center ice area. Comes bouncing right back in. And as Fergus picks it up, we get an offside call against the Boston Bruins.
To get things going here in the third period.
Mark backs into his own zone. Gave the puck to Keith Crowder. Crowder played it into the Islander zone off Trushalinski. That's Morrow. But Wayne Sutter couldn't trap it. On the right side, Brent Sutter moves it to center ice for Bourne. One-on-one with Park. Blows in around Park. Cuts it on goal. He shoots. Peters a save, and it's cleared out of the goal mouth deeply by Marty Howe. Ends up in the right wing corner. A pile-up, but the puck's still loose, they rule. Brent Sutter trying to get it into the corner. Can't do it. Park clears it. Held in at the line by Morrow to Brent Sutter. Brent bumped by Park. Brent Sutter knocked the puck loose. He and Park still in a battle for it. Keith Crowder came back to help out, and now Howe takes control. Howe's pass will off Morrow's stick at the blue line, and he recovers at center ice. Morrow to Bourne. Let it go to Brent Sutter in on the left side. Bourne cuts in around Park. Can't get loose in front of the goal, and a good play by Marty Howe. There's Potvin. He broke up the Bruin rush at center ice, and Lane takes over. Worked it out to center. Park comes right in over the line with a drive. Smith made the save with his left arm. And the Islanders have cleared it up the wing all the way down into the Boston end of the ice. The Bruins have certainly picked up the momentum here. Sache got the draw to Potvin. Around the boards to Bossy on the right side. Ahead to Gordy Lane. Lane, a long pass intended for Bourne. It's intercepted by Bork. Lets a drive go that missed on the glove side. Peterson works it to the corner intended for Middleton, but there's Lane. Lane to Bossy. Now to Trottier. To Bourne, who's on the left side at the moment. Bob Bourne, a long shot. He actually fanned on it, and it's picked up by Bork. Bork unable to move it out. Bossy keeps it in for the Islanders. Falls as he got it to the corner out of the reach of Trottier. And back for the Bruins goes Mike Gillis. To Ray Bork. Bork to Peterson. Left side at center ice. Gillis is offside. A two-line pass charged against Boston last Saturday. He, Dwayne Sutter, and Greg Gilbert are the forwards at the moment. Dufour bounced one in off the boards to the right of Smith. It's cleared out in front. Bruce Crowder unable to control it, and back comes Merrick. 3-on-2 as they come over center ice. Merrick across the line. The pass to Johnson. His shot steered aside by Peters. Johnson to drive. Peters makes the stop there and holds on. Johnson getting his own rebound. Tested Peters from a false start on this from the league this past season. Boston got control of the draw. O'Connell lost it momentarily. Now takes a look, fed it to Kluzak, back to O'Connell. O'Connell into the center ice zone. Crowder went to the left side for McTavish. Left the puck at the blue line. It's poked out by Merrick to Dwayne Sutter, and Fergus runs him off the play. O'Connell fed it out of the reach of Fergus. Back goes Morrow. Slapped it to the line. It was held in by Tom Fergus. Fergus and Morrow end up in the corner. Dwayne Sutter is there as well. Now Bruce Crowder comes in late. The puck came loose. McTavish pulling it back along the boards. All the way over to the right wing side, and then dumped it to the corner for Fergus. Johnson tied him up. O'Connell at the blue line. Had to bring it outside. Waits for the Bruins to get back on side. The pass to the right wing, broken up by Morrow. Here's Bourque with it now. Ray Bourque over the Islander line. His long shot blocked by Smith. And Johnson works it up left wing all the way down into the Boston zone, and we're going to have an icing here against it. McNabb against Trottier on that face-off. Goring is out along with Nystrom for the Islanders, and it's Goring feeding it up the right side, just out of the reach of Nystrom. Bourque worked it off the boards. Goring moved up, can't get around Krushelinski. Krushelinski sent Crowder over the line. Now to McNabb, and across to the right wing. Tonelli and Krushelinski bump into one another. The puck ends up at center ice. There's Bourque. Didn't wait for Krushelinski to get back on side. It's being delayed as far as the offside is concerned, and Potvin got it to Goring. Over to Gord Lane. Lane used the right wing boards to feed it to Nystrom. Across to John Tonelli, who was broken up at center ice by Park. And Park to Krushelinski. Now to McNabb, 2-on-1, but the pass to Crowder is out of his reach, and the whistle had sounded at an offside anyway, and the Bruin bench is upset with that call. As we get back to the live action, the Bruins are checked at the Islander line and offside. Face off just outside the Islander line. Brent Sutter centers for Bob Bourne and Dwayne Sutter. They cleared it into the Boston zone. O'Connell is checked by Bourne. Brent Sutter tried to feed it across, stolen by O'Connell, and up they come 3-on-2. O'Connell to Middleton, poked it in around Potvin, but Lane came over quickly. Potvin checked in his own end of the ice. The puck came out in front. Middleton couldn't make contact with it, and Kluzak shoots it back in offside. Deal with the Minnesota North Stars. Selected Kluzak. The North Stars selected Brian Bellows. And both teams more than satisfied with their picks. The Islanders will select third overall come the June entry draft. Dufour cleared it back to Park. A drive. Smith the save. Park drilling one from the point. Face off from the circle to the right. Bruins got the draw back to Bourque. His shot was blocked in front. Came right back to him. Tried to set up Dufour, and Johnson, who was falling, cleared the puck, but not out. Now Trottier gets it to Bossy. 4 Bruins back. Bossy turns. Fed it across to Johnson. Johnson over the line with Bourne. Johnson across to Trottier. Moves in. Shoots. Peters to save. Bossy put the rebound in front, but there was Bruce Crowder. Crowder comes to center ice. Long shot from outside the line is grabbed by Billy Smith. Played it back in the net. Bourne is bumped solidly by Bruce Crowder to Fergus. Fergus with a shot that hit Johnson and ricocheted. This draw against Trottier. Middleton to the right. Gillis to the left for the Bruins. For the Islanders, Goring is out as the second center, and he's going to be needed now as Trottier is asked to leave the face against Peterson. Bob Nystrom is the other Islander forward. Goring turns. Peterson got the draw back to Middleton. Middleton goes round behind the net. Trottier comes over. Middleton took the puck away from Brian Trottier. Got it to Mike Gillis. Gillis trying to come out in front. Trottier hauled him down. Loose puck in front of the net. Lane takes care of his man, and out comes Goring. Goring moves up with Nystrom and Potvin now. Potvin takes the pass. His drive off the left shoulder of Peters. Comes back to Lane. Lane backhands it around the glass, and Kluzak will pick it up. Kluzak to Gillis. His pass cut off at center ice by Lane. Now Peterson shot it right at Tonelli. Went to Nystrom. Comes across the line on right wing. Nystrom trying to win around Kluzak is grabbed, and the Bruins move to the left wing boards. Tonelli kicked it away from Gillis to Nystrom. Nystrom and Kluzak back of the net. It came out in front, cleared by O'Connell to Peter McNabb. McNabb up to O'Connell. Morrow runs into him. McNabb unable to get a stick on it. Morrow kept it in for the Islanders. Got it to Nystrom, to Tonelli, and it hopped over his stick. Luzak tries the right wing side. Johnson back for the Islanders. Shot it into the Boston zone, and O'Connell moves it quickly to Keith Crowder. Left side. Krushelinski in the Islanders zone to Keith Crowder. Brent Sutter steered him into the far corner, and up comes Nystrom. Bobby Nystrom at center ice. Less than 6 minutes to play in regulation time as he forces the Bruins to cover up deep in their own zone. Brad Park. Right side for Bork. Stick handles over center ice. Across the Islander line. He shoots. Smith makes the save. There's Dwayne Sutter. Went to the left wing. It bounced out of the reach of Bourne. Here's Park at the point. Winds up. Shoots off the goal post. Johnson for the Islanders. Clears it off Park. He holds it in. Fan on the first shot. Can't pick it up again. And here's Thomas Johnson. Johnson has cleared into center. Oh, is he hit by Keith Crowder. Park back for the Bruins. So Krushelinski handed it right to Potvin, and he's dumped it down inside the Boston zone with just over 5 minutes left. The Bruins came the width of the goalpost from making it a 4-3 hockey game. Lane works it back of the net. Peters out to clear it. It's picked up by Fergus of the Bruins. Comes up the right wing side. Fergus to Bork. Ray Bork into the Islanders zone. Left side for Fergus. Fergus is chased to the boards by Lane. They go to the corner together with Lane tying up Fergus. Gauthier comes in as well, and the whistle sounds for... Haven't mentioned tonight, but the off-ice officials are from Quebec City. Obviously, they handle the Nordiques home games all season long, and they're working as goal judges, timekeepers, that type of thing here tonight. Dufour slaps the puck into the Islanders zone. It came off the boards, and Billy Smith got over quickly. Potvin moves it to Caller, who's out on left wing. And there's Caller and O'Connell in a fight for it. It went to Potvin. Potvin moves it away from Dufour down into the Boston zone. They're going to call this one for icing as Kluzak touches. Now Park from the blue line. That went bouncing wide of Phil Smith. Nystrom and Bork tie up one another. Bork got the puck loose right into the skates of Morrow, who recovers, then was checked by Middleton. Managed to get it back to Nystrom. And the Islanders dump at the length of the ice. It won't go far enough for icing this time. Goring hustles in to try and check Park. Park to Bork. Up the left side to Gillis. Moves it out into center ice, but Peterson had turned away from the play, and the Islanders forced the Bruins back again. Ray Bork, who ignited the attack early in this third period, forced a twist and turn. Can't get away from Nystrom and Tonelli. And has shot it into center, down into the Islanders zone. This won't go far enough for icing either. Morrow is back. Gave it to Thomas Johnson. Johnson flipped it out to center. Park drops it back to Bork. To Middleton out of his reach. Morrow clears it. Gillis and Nystrom collide at center ice, and there's Bork. Cross to Park. Brad Park's pass intercepted by Nystrom. Comes over the Boston line, trying to move in around Ray Bork. Nystrom to Tonelli. Tipped it wide of Peters, who had come way up on top of the goal mouth. The Bruins get it to center ice. Here's Middleton working in on Lane. Lane turned Middleton around. He put it out in front. A bouncing puck is cleared by Potvin. Picked up by Peterson of the Bruins. Peterson to Middleton. Gillis parked in front of the net. Goring rode him out of there. Gordy Lane trying to tie up the puck. It's help now from Goring, and there's no further play. We have 2 minutes and 48 seconds. Now they're trying to eliminate that. Bork with a drive right from the face-off, and Billy Smith got the stick on it. Gauthier lost it to Middleton, trying to put it out. It hit Lane, went to Park at the point. His shot blocked by Bourne, and he races up to take over. Comes in across the line, a drive. Peters, he scores! Bourne drills it off the arm of Peters, and it's 5-2.
The gambles you have to take in the third period that can backfire. Brad Park gambled at the Islander blue line. He kept the puck in. Here comes Bourne. He shot the puck. Bourne smartly got in front of it. The puck hit him and bounded in behind Brad Park. With Bork trying to get after Bourne. Bourne turns on the speed. Let's go. A quick wrist shot, a rising shot.
That Brent Sutter is at center ice. Knocked the puck away from McNabb. It gets a hit on the far around the 15-minute mark. Had not hit the post. Who knows where we would be at this stage. The Islanders have themselves a 3-goal lead. The Bruins start from their own zone. Melnick out to center ice for McNabb. Dumped it into the Islander end off the stick of Potvin. He picks it up, and they're ruling that it had been knocked down. Contact made. And got the face-off. Back neatly to Thomas Johnson. He's had a good game tonight. Offensively and defensively. He's chipped in with a goal and an assist. He's taken the man and played the puck well. So the Bruins start from deep in their own territory now. Out to center ice they come. Mike Barr into the Islanders zone. Gave it to Crowder. Back to Barr. Johnson tied him up in front of the net, and here's Bourne. Bob Bourne races to the center ice stripe. Got it to the Boston zone. O'Connell brings it back, shooting it around the boards. Barr moves in off the right side. Johnson and Barr collide in the corner. Thomas Johnson comes up with the puck, lifted out to the center ice zone. That's Marty Howe going back with 1.5 minutes remaining in regulation time. Howe to Barr. Bruce Crowder played it across. Shot into the Islander end of the ice by Brad Palmer. Palmer hasn't seen a lot of ice time tonight. He was acquired from the Minnesota North Stars as part of that deal in which Boston
did not take Brian Bellows.
That's right. They laid off Bellows, and the North Stars chose him in the amateur draft. Peters out of the net, gave it to Gillis. Mike Gillis slaps it around the boards. Palmer can't get there. Lane made contact, lost it. Palmer picks it up, comes over the line. Potvin got back to check him. Here's Howe waiting. Marty Howe is knocked out, and Potvin has shot the puck wide of the Boston goal. We have 45 seconds left in Game 1 of this best-of-7 series. The Prince of Wales Championship on the line. Peters across the line. Drop pass. 2-4 shot is steered aside by Smith. There's Fergus. Rache trying to tie him up. Bossy knocked the puck loose. Gordy Lane can't get away from Dufour. Up now by Fergus. Gillis in forechecking. He's taken off the puck by Trache, and Lane slaps it around the boards. Luzak at the point is checked by Kaller. Luzak kicked it back in over the line. Potvin dumps it to center. Bruins come back in across the line again, but Lane stepped into Dufour, and Potvin clears it to Tonelli as the fans count down the final 7 seconds. Tonelli a drive. Peters the save. Melnick for the Bruins gives it to Dufour, and that will do it. There's the siren ending game number 1, and it goes to the New York Islanders by a score of 5-2, and Bill Smith picks up his 6th playoff victory this season. Overall, his 66th playoff win for the New York Islanders. And the Islanders have wrestled the home ice advantage away from the Boston Bruins, a team that had the best record in the National Hockey League in the regular season. Our final score is the New York Islanders 5, the Boston Bruins 2. We'll be back with a recap on our Budweiser Star of the Game selection following these messages. New York Islanders 5 and the Boston Bruins 2 here at the Garden in Boston. Shots in the third period by the Bruins 10 and by the Islanders 8. The game totals by the New York Islanders 34 and by the Bruins 32. Scoring in the third period, Peterson for the Bruins is 11th in the playoffs from Gillis and Middleton at 5:51, and then 17 seconds later, Ray Bourque from Peterson, the goal at 6:08, and it was a 4-2 hockey game, and the Bruins were back in it. Brad Park hit the post about the 15-minute mark, and as the Bruins applied pressure, Bob Bourne broke away an unassisted goal at 17:27, ices the victory for the Islanders, 5-2 over the...